Yo,
Uh, fuck, I don't. I didn't prepare an intro. I forgot to prepare an intro.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to Five
Right,
Nights at
so
Freddy's.
Baka, I saw your name on a decent amount of fangame credits as a beta tester, so I wanted to ask you some beta testing related questions to get a perspective of someone who actively helps out developers.
Alright,
so
bring him in.
question one: why did you take an interest in FNaFb? Did you just one day see the bear go fucking went? Yeah, that's absolute cinema.
No, I do. Ever since I was a little kid, I always liked RPGs in general. I always played like Bowser's Inside Story and stuff. Always liked RPGs. And so, one of these days, I just go on YouTube and I see Markiplier playing an RPG of Five Nights at Freddy's. And that was simply too perfect to pass on. Give it some years later, and I managed to find the banter server, and that's more or less where it all began.
I'm in the minority of actually of my exposure to FNaFb being Luigi Kid and not Markiplier.
Markiplier was the guy who introduced me to FNaFb, but after that I just couldn't get enough of it. I saw billions of YouTubers playing FNaFb and I couldn't get enough.
Question 2: why/how did you start beta testing games?
How did I start? I honestly don't remember. I think if I'm correct, the first game I helped was with Blaz, the first iteration of the BDBAP game, where I playtested the game and gave him feedback. I think that was the first game I playtested, but I could be wrong. It's been many years, so I don't fully remember.
Regardless, Arena Bab is honestly peak, so I can't blame you. I can't. Alright, question 3. Out of all the times you help people with testing, what's generally the worst experience you had?
The general worst experience with
it could
testing?
be because the dev reacted negatively to your feedback, or in general you didn't have fun with the game or didn't see eye to eye with other testers.
I mean, not having fun with games sometimes happens, but it may be super boring, but no dev actually lashed out at me from what I remember. It's mostly just people being stubborn, but it always ends up blowing up at their faces at some point, so I stop caring and I just find it funny now. It's mostly just
Also, like how
stubborn.
Packy was stubborn about giving the shop scaling.
That one just peak cinema. that one's so fucking funny. Smokey was absolutely right, but that was so fucking funny.
So true. Right. 5. Did you beta test any 5 games that ever saw the light of day or just lost media now?
Beta testing lost media? Well, if the first game Blaz made counts as lost media, then yes. Otherwise, I can't remember fully any. Oh no, Hayden games. I've tested a lot of Hayden games who just don't exist.
Can you give any examples?
Any examples? Well, yeah, the Blaz game that I just don't remember, the first ever BDBAP game, and Hayden's game. Maybe that multiplayer game. Hayden never made a name for it per se, but that multiplayer game he never actually released to my memory. But just in general, Hayden, things that I tested, he never puts out. Fair
enough. I didn't. After all, abandons a lot of games you can't remember the names. That's fine.
There's too many of them.
Exactly. 6. Do you have any advice when it comes to beta testing? Like how to not be a fucking asshole when it comes to criticism, or how to help the devs out figure out what's actual good feedback and bad feedback.
Just good feedback. You don't want to insult the dev. You don't want to actually be mean to them because they won't want to listen to you. That's in general how people work. All that you want to do is just play the game and give your honest feedback. This works because of this and that. I like this, I dislike that. That's more or less how how playtesting should be, I feel. But that's the gist of it. You don't want to be an asshole because then they just won't listen to you because out of spite.
Fair enough, that's very hard considering the community we're in.
The Bearswear community. Most people have tough skin, so you can work something out.
That's
usually.
True. Have you ever helped through balancing skills or like passives?
A lot. I used it to not do that when I was way earlier in playtesting. I mainly just pointed out bugs, but I don't know what was the turning point actually. I think it was after Spoon. After Shadows Fuck Up McDonald's and Revengeance, after that game jam, I think I got into balance a little bit more after those games, and now I just look at everything pretty much, see what works and what doesn't, as good as I can anyway.
So technically, the jam that I joined is contributing to that part.
Yeah, because nowadays I more or less just remember everyone saying the balance is this, the balance is that, and when I think back on it, I left Blast to do. Well, I didn't actually discuss anything with him, I just subconsciously did it. I left Blast to do the balancing, and I just focused mainly on bugs. So every time I hear a spoon, I think back to that moment. And nowadays I just mess with balancing as well.
What's your thought process when it comes to balancing skills? Now, I'm asking you this because you have a better grasp of balancing than most devs, which I'm shocked because you don't even make games.
My thought process when it comes, rebalancing skills. I usually try to keep the original purpose of the skill intact and just give it and just make it better, make it actually function. Like for instance, if you could argue that Top Hat Shield is a bad move, it just gives everyone guard for one turn. So if you asked me to buff that move, I would give it some sort of cooldown and let the effect last for 3 moves, for instance. So you have more active time, and then also a downtime, while still keeping the purpose of the skill intact, that is protecting. But I think I can acknowledge when some ideas just don't work, and when they don't work, it's better to just scrap the skill and do something new altogether.
Alright, yeah, that's fair. People don't really do that, they just throw the skill out of the window even though it works. And that's not a good mentality.
That is true. You need to see how the skills function in the big picture. How you can't just throw a skill and expect it to work. You have to throw a skill and then test it in the actual game how it works. Because any skill can look absolute dog shit depending on the numbers, but when you apply it to an actual game, a skill can either be broken or useless extremely easily.
True. Right. Question 9. Do you actually enjoy beta testing?
I mean, yeah, why would I do it if I didn't enjoy it? I like playing games and helping people, and beta testing let me do both of these. It's a win-win for everyone, really.
That's fair. Is there any game you actively regret beta testing?
Games that I regret beta testing. Probably a few of the Wario games, especially the Masquerade one, because I tried so hard for that game. And then it just did not go well, like, at all. I get it was a first dev as well, but that's one of the few games I kind of regret when you put so much effort into the thing and it doesn't work out.
Yeah, that's true. He left after the jam anyway, so damn, those efforts kind of went to waste.
Yeah. I can take solace that I tried to make the game as best as I could.
That's what's important. What was the worst way someone reacted to your criticism?
The worst way was either the worst way was just ignoring me, really, or just not changing the stuff I pointed out, either out of spite or because they think it works. Sometimes it ends up working by a miracle, but most of the times it blows up in their face. No one actually lashes out at me.
Damn, I sure wonder what game had that problem of beta testers being ignored or the dev being strong, which resulted in their ass being baited. That appeared in the jump they also beta tested. I sure wonder. Sure wonder. Alright. What's your genuine feeling on the various changes in the new CC update? Since I know you're not exactly a fan of it.
Not really. Everyone always gets this wrong because I shit out on CC, Golden Freddy, Mango, and I do. I will not deny that. That's going back. I shit on CC when it's time to shit on CC, but there's never a time to actually talk about the good of CC. So I don't talk about the good of CC. But like everyone else, I love Finale and I love CC3. CC2 is fine. CC2 is also fine as well, a fine experience. There's just never a time to talk good about CC, so I never talk good about CC. Now, for the update itself, I didn't actually play it yet, so take it with a grain of salt. But from what I saw, Mama Bird, everything that was wrong basically got fixed, mostly. I can't say like Mama Bird and Baka Bash's gimmick all got reworked for the better. Mangle as well seems to have gotten a huge buff, and Golden Freddy has an actual passive now. Holy shit. Well, the thing I'm on the fence about is agility buffs giving evasion, because it looked like a 20% evasion buff or a 32% evasion buff for Springtrap. That shit's really strong, and I don't know how it will work out in the game. I'll have to play it to see it. But with this grain of salt in mind, yeah, I think the update's pretty good. Thank God we finally got it. Only took a few years.
3 years to fix. What was the name? Golden Door? Door.
It was just Door.
It took 3 years to fix Door. But as someone who went to play After Story, mainly to see how the reverse refurbs are, I did not have fun.
Oh, I can't say I like the thought of buffed Mango into reverse refurbs either. That would be an experience.
There's also a problem with Foxy doing speed share on turn 1, so everyone has agility. So you're just slowly chipping away at everyone.
Yeah. At least he's programmed to do it once and then never again, so I never have to deal with that. That's your silver lining.
Yeah, fair enough.
But good job on the CC update.
Yeah, good job, Sam. I totally bet you're watching this. If you do, drop a snake emoji in general chat, please. I will love to know.
Also, thanks for adding Act Zero. I'm glad that the person's efforts were not to waste. We finally got Act Zero.
So to all
Everyone
the
rejoice.
Zero X Zero fans are jumping in the air right now.
Let's fucking go! 2 fans!
Alright, last question. Out of all the FNaFb fan games you saw or played, which one do you think would have benefited the most from your beta testing it?
It's going it's going to be a game that not most people, but probably someone was expecting. It's gotta be Remix 2. It just has so many weird gimmicks to it that don't work at all. And we told the dev to either change them or get rid of them, but he just didn't. So that's where stubbornness ends up killing the game in some fashion. But Remix 2 could have benefited a lot from listening to
It's
us.
also actively worse now because you only have one chip slot, so there's no combinations now.
It prevents the broken chip combos by making it boring. It's swapping one problem for another.
Pretty much. I love Remix too. That's so fun. Thank you, Rossi.
Poor guy, he was just trying his
But
best.
yeah, thank you, Baka, for taking time out of your day for the interview. I will now dropship you a Fumo for this, out of my own money. Expected to come tomorrow at 12 o'clock in a makeshift air balloon and holding a jar of honey.
I will. I can finally make my ham with honey.
I take back what I said. No,
You should try
no,
it. Try ham with. Everyone try ham with honey.
Don't watch this. Don't. Just don't. Alright.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening to this podcast. We are not sponsored.
That's the end of Baka Hour. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Alright. I'll go download the thing and thank you for taking time of your day, Baka.
Yeah, this was really fun.
I'm
No
glad to hear
problem.
that. Alright, see ya.
See ya.